Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Lisa, the art teacher. Hi! Welcome back to my table of art. I don't know if you've heard, but there's been some excitement up in outer space. NASA and this guy named Elon Musk, they got together and they funded together their money and they had this rocket ship launch that went right up into space. That was the SpaceX 9 and the name of the crew was the Dragon crew. And they went up into orbit and they landed over at our International Space Station. Well, while they're out in that International Space Station, orbiting around the Earth, looking out into our universe, they're looking to see if they learn new things about our universe and bring it back to our Earth and tell us about it. So, in honor of our SpaceX launch, I'd like to do the opposite with you. Let's pretend that Martians are coming down to Earth and are going to observe us to learn about us and bring it back to their planet. So we're going to make our own Martians in honor of SpaceX 9 launch into orbit. So we're going to need a few things to get started. So if you have coffee filters, let's get them out, okay? We're going to need some washable markers. I use the fat ones because they're easier to work with. We're also going to need spritzer to spritz some water. It's going to react with our markers. You're going to need a black marker. You're going to need a scissor. You're going to need a pencil. And you're going to need some white construction paper or white printing paper, any kind of white paper you have. Now, I have a circle template. I could just trace these circles for any size circle I need. Not everybody's going to have this at home. So what you're going to need to do is to find objects that are round. Here's my spritzing bottle. That's round right there, but it's too big for what I need. But just to give you an idea, sometimes if you use the bottom of the toilet paper roll, or the bottom of a salt shaker, or the bottom of a pencil is a small circle, all those things would work, okay? So the first thing I'd like you to do is cover your table, because we don't want to ruin where we're working, the surface of our table, because I don't think Mom or Dad will be happy about that. So we always protect where we're working. We're using water, so if you have maybe a grocery bag or even those plastic grocery bags, that'll be great. I happen to have a big, large plastic lid, so I'm going to use that for protecting my table. So, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out our coffee filter and we're going to decide on which colors we want to color our Martian. So, I am going to pick red, orange, and yellow for my Martian. Now, if you can see behind me, I've already made two Martians. They're green and yellow. Hey, you know what happens when green and yellow mix together? Did you say they make blue? You guys are so smart. Make me very proud that you know your colors. So, I'm going to use these three colors, which are, do you think these are warm colors? Or do you think they're cool colors? Well, let me think. When I'm out in the sun, which I think is usually red, orange, and yellow, am I warm or am I cold? I'm warm when I'm in the sun. So I bet these are warm colors. You know what? I'm right. These are warm colors. So I'm going to use my warm colors to create my Martian. So now I'm going to put well, I don't need that yet. But what I want to do is I want to get my helping hand. And I'm going to bring the screen down so you can see what I'm doing on my table. Okay, so I'll see you in a little while. Hold on. Alrighty. Alright, so here's my coffee filter. I'm just going to take my markers and I just want to color my coffee filter. Color it in, the whole thing. Now I have a piece of newsprint protecting my table, so I don't have to worry that my mom's going to get mad at me. I don't think my mom will know, actually. I'm a big girl now. I don't live with my mommy. I live with my husband and my family. Okay, so see how I'm coloring that in? I've got some red. Now I'm going to fill in some orange. You could do this any way you want. And you don't have to worry about covering all of the area because when we spritz this with water, this is all going to blend together. Okay, so I'm going to throw in some yellow now. There we go. See how nice this is? I'm going really fast so I could show you. Okay, so I've colored my whole coffee filter. And now I'm going to place it on my lid because it's plastic. It will protect my table. Put my markers away. And now I'm going to get my spritzing bottle. See, it says water. And I'm going to spritz my coffee filter because I want these colors to all blend together and make a nice smooth look. I'm going to bring down one of my Martians so you can see what I mean. See how his colors all blended together really nice? That's what we're going to do with this one here. So I'm going to let that sit. Now I'm going to, okay, it's already starting to blend together. And look, it left a mark here. See, that would have been on my table. So I want to put this on the side and let it dry. Hold on. So it's a little process. Don't make it too wet because it'll take forever to dry. Maybe you could do a couple at a time too. So let me put this to the side because guess what? I've made one ahead of time and that's all ready. So this one is dry. I didn't wet it too much. So the colors just blended a little bit, but it still looks pretty, right? Okay, so now I want to make it look more like a Martian, like this guy. So what shapes did I use on my Martian? Well, for his eyes, I use circles. I use big circles and little circles. Now I'm using a marker to color in the center, but you can use black construction paper as well. Okay, so we have circles. Then I have little triangles for the teeth. We know what a triangle is. That's three-pointed shape, a triangle. And then his smiley face looks like half of a circle. It's almost half a circle. Then I made his antennas. And those are just straight lines, which could be looked at like a rectangle. And a circle at the end of his antenna. So we're going to need some circles. So let's start with his eyes. How big do I want his eyes and how many do I want? I like the idea of 3 eyes. Can I fit 3 across this size? I'm going to use this size circle. And you can find things around the house to measure to use for your circles. And I'm going to grab my white construction paper and I'm going to trace 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. Oops. And now I need to cut my circles out. So I always find it easier to cut if I cut what I need to cut away from the big sheet. I'm going to place this on the side because I'm going to use it again. And now I'm going to cut the individuals, separate it. So now it's easier for me to maneuver around this circle. So the easy thing about a marker is I don't have to cut again if I make a smaller circle within the big circle. So here's 2 big circles. 1, 2. Always put down the side that shows the pencil mark. We don't want to see that. And here's my 3rd big eye. Don't worry if you don't cut perfect. It's quite all right. So I got 3 eyes for my Martian right now. And I need to do the center part of the eye. See how this guy is? And I have him all cross-eyed. Makes him funnier. So let's think. How do I want to put my eyes? Which would be a nice size? I think this is a perfect size circle. So I'm going to trace this. Now, if you find something that's small and round, like for instance, I'll show you. I'm going to use my glue stick to trace my circles, okay? Because not all of you have this circle template. So I'm going to trace this round eye here. Maybe I want this one to be over on this, closer to the edge. And then I think I want this one to be going up this way. Okay, so now I've traced 3 circles within my large circle. And now I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to fill those circles in. So I don't even have to use black construction paper. I don't have to cut again. It's kind of cheating, but it makes it a lot easier. Here's another eye. I'm going to fill that guy in. And one more. And you can place the black eyeball anywhere you want on your big circle. Okay, now I want to glue them in place. So let's decide how we want to put our eyes. Do you like them like that? Should we turn them around a little bit like this? And all the eyes are looking in different directions. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to glue the back of my eyeball and place it right on my dried coffee filter. Here's 2. And here's 3. So now we have our eyes on our Martian. He looks crazy already. So the next thing I want to do is I want to give him a mouth. I like a happy face, so I'm going to take my white construction paper from before and I'm going to draw with my pencil, no measuring. I'm going to make a smile, smiley face, which is just an easy mark like that. See that? If you're worried about being able to do that, the best way to do it, okay, so this is how wide my filter is, right? This is my coffee filter. So we want to give him a smiley face. So let's make a dot here and a dot here. And we want to make a big smile and connect it to the dots, okay? That might be an easier way for you to make a big smiley face. And then what we need to do is go straight across to complete our smile. See that? So this part is going to be black. So now I'm going to grab my black marker and I'm going to color in the smiley face that we made. Okay? So it doesn't matter if we go over with the pencil mark because we're covering it all with the black marker. This is, again, easier than cutting it with the black construction paper. See that? And we fill this all in to make a nice smile. Now you don't have to make your Martian smile. You can make a zigzag face. Now what do I mean by a zigzag face? Do you remember how to make a zigzag line? Just to show you, a zigzag line is up and down, almost looking like mountains. And then we would do the opposite below it. That could be a crazy smile too, a zigzag smile, and we could fill that in with black marker. But right now we're doing the smiley face. So now let's cut that out with our scissor. And again, you know how I like to separate it from the big sheet to make it easier for me to cut. And this would work for you as well. Here we go. Here's my smiley face. And that's going to go right here on my Martian. So let's get our glue sticks out and glue the back of our smiley face. And let's put it right on our coffee filter. This looks like one happy Martian. What do you think? All right, remember those triangle shapes I was talking about? Well, we need to do that next. So let's get our construction paper back and let's make some triangles. Now, in order to make a triangle, very easy, we could do one of two things. We can make a dot and a dot next to each other, and one straight up the middle, and then connect the lines. Connect the dots, I mean. So that's one way of making a triangle. Okay? Or you can make a zigzag line and then just make a line right across. So here's two triangles. Okay? So let's see. Let's try the dot procedure. One dot, two dots. Go to the center of those two dots and go all the way up. Make a third dot. Connect the dots and you have a triangle. If you make a zigzag line, zig, zag, zig, zag, zig, zag, and bring a line right below it, Now we have 1, 2, 3 triangles. So either way, whichever works for you is what we're going to do. I'm going to use these 3 triangles and I'm going to cut them out right now for the smiley face. Now, I might keep them together because they came out better than I thought they would. So let's see. If I keep my triangles together, would I like that? Now I'm going to separate them. I'm going to cut individual triangles. So now I have 3 triangles. Now remember, we don't want the pencil side to show. That will be the side I'm going to glue. I'm going to get my glue stick and I'm going to glue the back of this triangle. And I'm going to put it right here on the top of my face, my smiley face. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it facing up from the bottom of the smiley face. And the last triangle, I'm going to put back on the top facing down. That looks fantastic. What do you think? All right, so now we need to give him his space Martian antenna so he could connect with his other Martian friends telescopically or something like that. So that's an easy one. We're going to make a long, thin rectangle. Let's make another long, thin rectangle the same size. And let's add a big circle at the end of it. Those will be his antennas, but we want them to be black. So we can make them real long, or you can keep them short. But I like the longer antenna. So here's 2 long antennas. Don't worry about being perfect. And here's one big circle, here's another circle. And let's color in our antennas. So it's a long, skinny rectangle and a circle at the top. This way all their communication through these antennas, beep, 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 that's how they communicate. That's how I think. So now let's separate it from the big piece of construction paper, which makes it much easier to work with. Cut the bottoms right across, so now they're even in size. I'm going to separate them right down the middle and start cutting my first antenna. Around the circle and down the side. And guys, don't worry about being perfect. And if you need help cutting, don't be afraid to ask somebody for help. So here's my first antenna. And now I'm going to cut my second antenna. Whee! Okay, so we need to glue our antennas to the head. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 2 dots of glue on my coffee filter. Here's one. Here's another. And guess what? Our Martians are done. I come in peace. Welcome, Earthlings. I come in peace. What do you think? Isn't he cute? And here's his friend. We come in peace. Welcome, Earthlings. We come in peace. Okay, boys and girls. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed making your Martians, because I certainly did. Nano, nano. So, what does Miss Lisa always say? Always keep art in your life. It makes you happy. It's good for your soul. It's good for your spirit. And listen, if you can get out, go on outside, look around, try to create art from nature. Just get a breath of fresh air, let the sun hit your face, enjoy life, enjoy the outdoors. If you can't get outdoors, stay indoors and do art. Use your imagination. That's the best way to do art. So, this is Miss Lisa saying, ciao for now. I miss you, and I know I'm going to see you soon, so just hang in there. All right, boys and girls. Ciao for now. Nano, nano.